Well, hello there, guys. So I'm sure you're expecting a show, right? You're expecting, a wave of my hands, and talk about the porcelain god and reviewing and pooping and all of those funny jokes, but this is different. This video is to be released on Father's Day, which I don't know when you guys are watching this. I'm sure you're watching it at any time of the year. But this is a review. That's what you guys come here for. It's what this channel is about, is reviewing. It's about being true to the creative spirit and embracing reviews in a creative light. Well, this review is different. This review is much more serious, much more mature. Father's Day 2021 was different than Father's Day 2022. Last year, my wife had just had a miscarriage. We were destroyed. We were distraught. We had just literally come back from a week vacation to get away from life, from the reality that we have just lost our firstborn child that we've named Poppy. And we didn't just randomly pick that name. We didn't know it was a girl. She was 8 weeks pregnant. We followed the tracker of the sizes, and we went from, oh, look, it's a poppy seed to a sesame seed to a blueberry. The blueberry is the key one. Because they aren't joking. It was literally the size of a blueberry. How do I know? The toilet that you saw when this video first started is the toilet that I fished out the little blueberry out of a sea of blood. And then it was confirmed later on at the hospital. That was the most saddening, depressing, scary day of my entire life. So, I've been told recently that apparently this would be a video that a lot of people would want to see, is, a review of life. It's a life review. And no, I'm not just going to flush it, because it's part of me. It's part of my life. It's part of the chapters of my life. And I'm sure that once you see that, I'm sure if you've seen the title of this, that it's probably a piece of yours as well. There is no miracle cure for the pain that you've probably felt going from miscarriage forward. Same. It's even harder when you go from happiness, 4 weeks later, miscarriage, 8 weeks later, pregnancy again. And that's what takes me up to today, or now. My wife, on April 4th, 2022, gave birth to our firstborn son, Guillermo the Fourth. I had no idea that she would be a year. Looking back, a year later, I would have never guessed that this is where I'd be standing. But when people tell you, things happen for a reason, they literally are not joking with you. They're not playing with you, not messing with your heartstrings. Things happen for a reason. It hurts. It sucks beyond all recognition. Especially when you have to literally tell your wife with your little child in a teaspoon, honey, I'm sorry. As this isn't fake, I'm not playing for the camera. This is legit feelings that I feel still, and this is a year. Sorry. the biggest thing I can tell you guys about this is that going forward, especially once your wife has had another opportunity to be a mom, you have to be strong. Yes, there's going to be moments and times where you'll think about him or her, but you have a family now. And this is just a video for you guys out there. It's a video probably for me in the future, because who knows, maybe I'll watch this one day in the future and I'll be like, that guy on that YouTube channel, he knows. So I can tell you this: if you ever feel like if you ever feel like you're hurt, believe me, I feel you. I've spent a couple of nights in front of the shopping center here in the dark at night, crying and just talking to God and being like, hey, like, what don't I have that makes me good enough? And in reality, looking back at it, we're always good enough. It's just not the right time. And it was tough. I work with a lot of girls, and hearing them talk about kids and what their kids were doing, it sucked, because you're sitting there thinking like, maybe this isn't for me, maybe that's not for me, maybe I'm not worthy, and that's a big thing, is your worthiness. There's no spite when it comes to a miscarriage. It's just literally a freak accident, which is very taboo, because most people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to think it's a possibility, and yet it is. It's a very fragile 9-month process that a woman undergoes, and that you, as their partner, have to be there, their support, their strength, their arm, their shoulder to lean on. I'm blessed and gifted enough to have my own clothing line. And so I made a shirt called Rise and Shine. Because even during this dark time, you have to rise above it. Because right now, beyond that door right here next to me, my wife is out there with our 3-month-old. And I'm sure you watching, you have somebody beyond that door, beyond that wall, whatever, that is looking up to you, that you mean something to them. So yeah, there's days it's hard getting out of bed before Quattro was born. Quattro being my son, who's right here, this wall right here. His nursery is right there. My review of advice is say to people, yes, this is a very taboo subject, but those who are close to you and who care the most about you will always have an open ear and an open heart for you and your wife, and because they know that what you've dealt with is not the easiest in the entire world. This is not a joking review, as most of mine are. I'm sure you can tell by the viewing history. Oh, Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes. Oh, this. That's all cool, but this is serious and this is legit. This is an issue. And it being Father's Day coming up, or I think when you watch this, probably be Father's Day, because I'm so slow on this recording and editing thing. It has special meaning now. And it always will be. So, to Poppy, who's up there, to you guys in there, to my wife, sorry that you guys have to go through this. And I guess Poppy's not really included in that, because, she's up there. You guys, this is the final message, is that you guys can overcome. You can achieve the goal that it took me 35 years to accomplish, and that's to be a father. You guys can do it. I believe in you. So rise and shine. Rise up over the darkness. Rise up over the depression. Rise up over the sadness that you're feeling. And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm a year into it. I have a 3-month-old and I'm still dealing with it. But it gets easier day by day. And shine. Shine for your significant other, shine for the world, shine for yourself, more importantly. Because you're worth it. You all are. So, next video you guys will see, I'll be back to my smiley 2 thumbs up face, talking about pooping and BMs and flushing. But this one, it's about you guys. So, have a happy Father's Day. And I'll see you next week.